I'm Lex.
And I'm Gibby, and welcome to another episode of Porch Swing People.
Every week we bring on a guest and chat with them about just positive things that are happening in their lives, stories from the past, or hopes for the future. And today we're just going to bring this guest on, shall we?
Let's wing it.
Let's wing it. His name is Paul.
Hey, Paulie. Paulie, you there?
I'm here.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry, guys. This redneck, couldn't even turn my computer on. My wife had to do it for me.
That's okay.
Hi, Lex.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
Oh, doing great. Thanks.
Hey, Paul, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, that ain't going to work.
Okay. Hey, Paul, you have to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Golly, I don't really care talking about myself a whole lot. But nevertheless, I'm 63 years old. And
Dang.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for every day, man. I love every day. I don't even know what else to say about that.
I think that's pretty succinct. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say other. Hey, Lex, you hear people say, happy for this day or grateful. Paul is the epitome of a positive attitude and grateful for the day. And he's had challenges, and maybe he'll share some of those or not, and he still wakes up saying, hey, you know what, man, look how pretty it is out there. So.
Well, I love that. Paul, why don't you tell us something that you are looking forward to today or maybe in this upcoming week?
I just look forward to every day. I don't have a big deal going on. I am going to run to Colorado tomorrow, and a place I haven't been, a particular town I haven't been into. And I always like to, as I travel, and I do a lot of traveling for my job, and I like to go to places I haven't been before, because I just like to either tell someone, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
and also see the country. So I really like getting out and about.
Oh, yeah. I love driving through the country. That's probably what, a 8-hour drive? How long is the drive?
Where I'm going, it's going to be a little about 6 each way. It's a little over 300 miles, 330 miles one way. So I got a little bit going on tomorrow.
We do riding and stuff like that. But tell us one of the coolest modes of transportation you've ever been on, Paul.
Well, I that might be already established. Yep. My horses are passion I've had for a long time.
Yeah. When did you start horseback riding?
Well, not full time, but I started as young as 14 when I'd go visit my cousins out there. They all had ranches and stuff, and that's where I got my interest in riding horses. And I thought, when I get old enough and get in a position, I'm going to buy me some horses. And I did at 27. I was 27 when I bought my first 2 horses, and I'm not very smart because I've had them ever since.
Can you tell us a little about some of the things that you've learned about caring for horses over the years that maybe some people might not know, or something that someone could learn something new from you about?
What I find is people, and I'm learning from horses as well. I'll tell you a little bit about that. But firsthand, I want to start off with the people. People underestimate horses. They, I think they kiss and goo them a little too much.
That makes sense.
And we're all guilty of that, whether it be our dogs or our, whatever animal we have, but they need just like whether it be a dog or a horse, it's really along the same lines. They need that discipline. They need, love upon them, but you have to be the leader of that animal. It's just the nature of the beast. So if you don't have that, as you're doing what I do out there in the mountains and because we can get in some pretty bad predicaments on accident,
real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Gibby knows that all too well now, but so it's very important. That's why people, I kind of got off track there a little bit, but make sure you take control of the horse, and believe it or not, that will also, they need to learn to respect you as well. So when you're in next to that horse and doing things around them, if they don't have that respect for you, unfortunately sometimes they can injure you and things like that. But I've just learned a little bit of both sides of that. You got to be the boss. I'm riding you, you ain't riding me, type of thing. And but also to also have a love for your animal that you're riding as well. It's a balance right there.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna expand on that. It was what Paul's taught me. First of all, understanding who the alpha is in the group, that also gives those horses what Paul told me, comfort. They need to know, hey, I can trust this person. And so that was one of the things. The other one I want to mention, and I'll never forget it. We were up in Montana, and when we're up there, the place we stay, lots of times we put just like a makeshift corral, if you will, with electric tape. And it doesn't hurt the horses at all, and it really doesn't hurt guys. I've lit Paul up, but anyhow, those horses know that, hey, don't touch that tape, and they'll just stay away from it, a foot or two off of it. Well, we always have a little opening that's usually 4 or 5 foot long, and we just take the tape off of the little post that we have there, and I just threw it to the side on the ground, and I was walking one of his horses through there, so I put the lead on, and he's trusting me to walk him through this thing. And as we got through the little gate, the wind picked up, and that white tape fluttered a little bit, and that horse lurched forward and hit me in the back, knocked the wind. I didn't go to the ground, thank God, but it knocked the wind out of me. And Paul watched the whole thing, and it was really interesting how Paul, he's like, "You all right?" And I'm like, "Oof," we catch my breath. And he goes, "Yeah, you want to know something? There's a good lesson right here." Because I haven't been riding very much at this point. He goes, "Good horses accidentally kill people every year. And you cannot let your guard down." And I did. I let my guard. I was like, it's a nice sunny day, and I'm walking, and I let my guard down. I never let my guard down any longer around the horses, because they have a vote, and they get startled just like people.
I think
Yeah.
that's great advice, Paul. I say that a lot about dogs too. Like any dog will bite under the right circumstances. So when people say, "Oh, my dog's so gentle, my dog won't bite." Well, your dog very well could bite under certain conditions. And that doesn't mean that they want to bite you and hurt you. It means that something happened that is causing them to react in a certain way. And all dogs have that. It's okay. And it's not bad. But I think what you guys are talking about overall with horses applies a lot to teaching. I'm a teacher, Paul, and we call them boundaries and rules. And you put boundaries in place and you have structure, and kids love that. They feel so comfortable when they know that they can trust that the boundaries that you've put in place are going to be there consistently and predictably. And I feel like that's what you're describing with your horses too.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. It's funny. It's so funny right there, Lex. Is the animal world and the human world? We're so tied in more closely than people even think, as far as life's lessons, learnings, and respect. Good stuff.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. Paul, can you tell us about a time that you had a meaningful connection with nature or an animal?
Well, when you say a nature animal, or how about just, I guess, a pet? That's an animal, right?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I've had I had a dog that when I first started getting into horses, I had this dog, and Prance, and she would help me break colts. I'd be all by myself. I'd teach them to lead, and and then when they wouldn't lead up, she'd stand right behind them, and I'd just kind of look at her and give her a little signal, and she would just give them just a little bit of a nip to get them walking forward with me. And then we'd walk around, and she would sit behind them colts. She'd walk like 2 feet behind them, watching me the whole time when I'm walking, waiting for me to give her any signal that she needed to get the mission accomplished. greatest dog. I mean, yeah, that was my. I could have her for the rest of my life.
Totally. And
Yeah.
did you taught her how to do that, or she just kind of fell in line and understood?
Well, it's funny because maybe it's not funny, but there was just people have connections, and you connect with that. Me and that dog were just like connected.
Yeah.
I mean, she could almost read my mind. I'm telling you, she knew
Yeah.
what I wanted to get done, and if she didn't know, I let her know, and she got it done. So,
Wow, what
yeah.
a cool pup. You said
Oh
her name
my.
was Prance?
Yeah. She worked with me for about 15 years till she was done. So there you go. Yeah.
That's incredible. What a great story.
Yeah. She was an amazing dog.
I didn't get to meet that one.
No, sir. She was gone.
Yeah. That's too bad. Hey, tell us, Paul, tell us about one of your best or favorite movie theater experiences.
Oh, God. Yeah. So speaking of when I started getting into horses, back when I was a young kid, I'd go out there and stay with my cousins. So we'd run the farm all day and get things done. And come Saturday night, we're going to go to the drive-in.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing they had was a 2-ton flatbed truck. So, man, you see, and there's 4 of us in the front seat of this cab, and we drive to the movie theater, in a big old, oh my, it was just comedy. Instead of going in a car or a pickup truck or in this big old truck, we pull in there and we just watch the movie, and it's on your radio.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And by the time the movie's over, the battery's dead in the truck.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But we're out in this old redneck town anyway. I mean, everyone takes care of you. And anyway, that was just a funny story. I remember. I look back and I thought, oh my gosh! And I drive by that theater to this day. It's still up there in Roosevelt Country, here just east of town.
So
And,
cool.
Yeah, every time I drive by there, it comes to my mind. And I drove by there last week, and that's what brought that back to me. Remembering that.
I love that.
Hey, Paulie,
funny.
let me ask you this. Do you remember the movie or one of the movies that you've seen, or
No,
was just the experience of the truck?
It was the experience. Yes, I couldn't even tell you.
That's
what
very cool.
That's a good question, Gib.
That is a good question. We have the drive-in in Tooele, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one, Erda.
Yeah. So I grew up going to that one and have some fun experiences too, of where you don't necessarily remember the movie, but you just remember the experience of it and what went right and what went wrong.
Oh golly, that's a great question, by the way.
Thank you. You're our first person who has chosen that question.
Oh my gosh.
For you listeners, it is funny. I mentioned to Paul when I asked if he would be on our podcast. I was like, hey, just pick out the questions. Lex has 50 or 60 questions.
75.
I'm sorry, 75 questions.
That's a lot.
And they're fun questions. And what is interesting is, and I mentioned this to Paul, for some reason, and maybe 3 or 4 of the questions, routinely, one of those will get picked by all of our guests. And I think if you go back and listen to our episodes, you'll be able to pick those out every now and then. So Paul picked one out today.
The transportation one, is that what you're talking about? The
transportation one, yeah.
That's been a popular one lately, Paul.
Okay.
But you're the first person to say transportation by animal.
Yeah. Transportation by animal. Hey, I wanted to mention this while we were talking about, I call Paul Cowboy. I've always called him that. I think the very first time when we went up on a trip to Montana, I just started calling him Cowboy, and he is truly a cowboy. But you ever see that movie White Men Can't Jump?
Oh yeah.
Lex has not. Watch the movie. It's really funny. It's got Wesley Snipes and who's the guy?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. It is it's a hilarious movie. Paul, in his youth, and he probably could still today, with maybe not today because his shoulder is kind of jacked up, but he used to be able to jam a basketball, no problem. But more impressive, you see the movies, the cowboy movies, where the cowboy's running, he jumps from the rump and jumps into the saddle and takes off.
Yeah.
Paul has videos of him doing that. I would
What?
never be able to. Yeah. And I know that we don't use faces, and I know we've never used a video, but I'm wondering if Paul provides that video, could you do the up and down thing? It is
Are you talking about a boomerang?
yeah, boomerang. Sorry, Paul. You probably knew.
That's all right.
Yeah, you lost this redneck.
Yeah. But
that is incredible talent and trust with you and your horse. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. You know, here's the deal. The trust of Paul on that horse, and of course the horse trusting Paul. My biggest fear is you're running up on a horse like that and he's like, what? And puts 2 hooves in your face. Mm-hmm. That would ruin your day.
That certainly was a concern of mine, but I had broke that particular horse as a colt. That was my first horse I ever broke. So
wow.
Yeah, we knew each other rather well.
I would say I definitely need to see that video. If you have it.
Yes.
I seen it. I don't know. The other day, someone showed it to me. I got it's somewhere. I'll send it to you all though.
So, Paul, you've mentioned your cousins a couple of times growing up with them. Do you guys still hang out? Do you guys still go horseback riding?
I do not. They've moved out of state. The guys I used to go with a lot actually did move out quite some time ago. But I give them a call here every now and then. We keep in touch a little bit. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. I think that. Other than one of my cousins, I think I probably ride more than all of them.
Wow.
So, as times change, you just kind of, you run out of time or whatever, just life. You guys know the drill. It's just not always as easy to get out as we'd like.
That is very true.
You have to be very intentional, which Lex is extremely intentional. In fact, I wanted to ask you, Lex started this challenge with a girlfriend of hers. About how many days to be outside, or hours? How many hours are you up to?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
So, Paul, we had one of our previous guests, Aubrey. You challenge yourself to be outside 1,000 hours in a year, which comes out to be about 2.7 hours a day on average. So some days I'd be out for like 8 hours, and then some days it would be like 20 minutes is all I got today because of certain circumstances, whatever. I'm with the kids. And I hit the 1,000 hours back.
All right.
Back a while ago. Maybe early November. And as soon as I hit the 1,000, I stopped keeping track. So I don't know where I'm at.
Yeah. Hey, Paulie. So outside of the house, it doesn't mean like in a car and a drive or something like that. They're actually hiking or walking.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I don't walk a whole lot like that, but I'm certainly outside a lot,
Yes.
Yeah.
Messing around with the animals and things like that. But I do not even love to be in the house. Matter of fact, right now, I'm thinking of hanging up on you guys because I'm leaving here in a minute to go outside.
We've talked about riding a lot, and obviously I guess the big connection that I got introduced to Paul, and then he's introduced me to some other amazing people that he goes riding with and camping with, and I mean it's really just a community of really nice, genuine people. They go riding and they go camping together, and is just so laid back and fun. And the other great part is, from being in the military, we have had a lot of my friends and coworkers from the military come out and visit, and these guys were always quick, like, hey, the guys that would like to go on a ride, and Paul and Craig, another friend of ours, always real quick to say, yeah, we can do that. And anyhow, that's
very cool.
It's been a huge blessing for me and the friends that I get to.
Me as well. I feel so fortunate to have had the opportunity to meet those guys. They're just wonderful people. I love them to death.
Paul, can you tell us about a time that you helped somebody unexpectedly, like a right time, right place type of situation?
Oh God, I did see that one, but I help people all the time. I just not one sticks in my head because I'm always helping somebody.
Yeah, that's
That
what he
makes
does.
sense.
I really, hell, I don't know. I can't really think of one that really sticks out in my mind.
Doesn't have to be anything big or grand.
Yeah, yeah. I
Well, those are the
all the
best
time.
ones.
Well, let me tell
No,
you,
they're not.
it's just a part of my daily life. I'm not kidding.
Hmm.
Okay, I got one that I can kind of comes back to me. I was hauling cars and I was coming across Arizona, and I seen this big. And I was driving a big truck, so I seen this other truck on the side of the road, and I thought, oh, well, that old boy's broke down or something. So I pull into town, and there's a guy standing there with two gas cans. This Spanish guy didn't speak much English, and he had asked me, which way I was going, and I said, well, I'm heading that way, and then I realized, oh, that's that guy's truck I saw down the road about 3-4 miles.
Hmm.
So I started to pull out, and I'm in an 18-wheeler. I flipped a U-turn and went back and got that guy. Get in, let's go. And I took him back 5 miles to his truck, and uh, uh, we got it started, put the fuel in it, and I walk into my truck, and he starts yelling at me, and I thought, what's going on here, And he goes, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, okay, I'm standing there. He goes, opens the back of that big rig, and pulls out a turtle, which all these statue things, he had filled with statues that they sell. He gave that turtle to me. And I was grateful. Hey, thank you so much. And I thought, God, I don't know what I'll do with this whole turtle. Well, that turtle's right here in my house right now, just so you know. I seen it this
What?
morning, and that's what reminded me of my story.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, I want to see what the
Yeah.
turtle looks like.
Oh, it's just like the pottery turtle, and it's all
Yeah.
got colored like a turtle. It's a cute little
Oh,
bugger.
that's so nice. What a nice way
Anyway,
of him to say thank you.
yeah, I didn't expect it.
Such a lovely reminder though of what it means to help people and the gratitude that people have when you are able to help. And I mean it didn't take too much from you to go out of your way and help him back to his truck, but significantly impacted his day in a positive way. That's a great story.
Yeah, I like it. And it it it's so uh maybe I'm just doing it for myself. I don't know, because I feel great when I do those
Makes you
things.
feel good. Yeah,
Yeah, and I
definitely.
think that obviously everyone should be like that, and sometimes we are in a position where we may not have the time to offer your help, but any I would suggest any chance you have, do it, and it's so wonderful. Uh, I'm not a religious guy. I mean, as far as church goes, and but I have the faith. I'm so blessed, and the only thing I can think that being good to people and doing things for others.
We're only on this earth for a very short period of time. 60 years seems like a long time, but man, it goes quick. And if you're selfish with your time, you may have
Yes,
wasted
sir.
some good moments.
Well, I get reminded every morning I get up. My body tells me how old I am.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, Paul, that's very well said. Thanks
Yeah,
for sharing that with us on the pod this morning.
Yes.
yeah. Hey, Paul, tell us a compliment you love to give or receive.
Well, I certainly appreciate really good and honest people. Very genuine. And when I see that, and I can feel it as well,
Hmm.
a little dialed into. I can feel their spirit and things like that. And and I share with them that how I really appreciate them, and how wonderful I think they are, and what a good person they are. And when others meet me, and if they share it with me, that feels great. Those are the things I like to hear and like to share with people.
I think that's a great answer. When you can recognize someone else has a genuine heart and soul, it's lovely to point it out, and it's wonderful when someone points that out in you too.
Yeah, that is great.
You know, in this world, and it's tough to try to stay in the positive, and so easy to slip in negative thoughts, and Paul and I went, and our friends, we went riding on one Sunday, and he had mentioned, hey, I gotta, when I get back, I gotta get set up. I'm gonna drive to, I think it was California the next day, and it was gonna be a couple day trip. And I went to work, and I think maybe it was probably 9 or 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. I called him up just to see how he was doing, to see how this trip was going. And he goes, "Well, trip's not gone very well. Man, if I had to cancel it." I'm like, "Oh man, that's dragging." I says, "What happened?" He goes, "Well, I had my trucks. I thought that the truck's clutch was a little bit soft, and I had them look at it, and they said they tightened it up." And he got up to top of uh, Parley's Canyon. He says it wasn't going to make it, so I spun around and I went back and I broke down. That clutch went out a couple miles before he got back to the shop, and I was like, "Man, what a drag!" And he goes, "Well, you know, if you're going to be in trucking business, sometimes that's what's going to happen. But you know what? I broke down near home." And I was like, you turned something, your trip, your plans, your business, in at 180 degrees, and you're looking at, okay, where's the sunny side on this? And that's how Paul lives. Where's the sunny side?
I
Good for you,
certainly work
Paul.
on that. Yeah, I work on that, man. I work on that.
Well,
As everybody needs to.
you do it so effortlessly.
I think if you just live like that on a daily basis, it becomes a natural
Mm,
instinct. Or how, do I say instinct? It just
maybe.
comes natural. There you go.
Yeah.
You know, well, I just don't see the benefit, and I've been broke down a lot of places, and I've had a lot of people say, "Oh man, that's so terrible." Well, I don't really have bad days. I just have some are a little better than other days.
Mm.
That's how I look at it. This day's just a little bit better than it was yesterday.
Hmm.
I love that. I'm going to keep that in my repertoire of thinking. I love that so much. My 4-year-old, the other day we were all having a little struggle bus moment, and he was like, "Man, this is a rough day." And I didn't say anything, but then he said, "It's not a rough day. We're just having a rough moment." And I was like, "Dude, that is such a good way of looking at that." And then we
That is
moved
Yeah.
on, and yeah.
wow. That is great.
So, Paul, thanks so much for your time on the podcast this morning. Loved your questions that you selected. Love your answers, your positivity, and the messages that you brought onto the podcast today. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you guys for having me. It's been a wonderful time, and it's always good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You too.
I owe um, you a couple of trips in there to visit. It's been a minute.
Yes, let's do it.
Oh, I did want to ask one more thing. And if you would speak candidly, as a truck driver, what is something that people driving in cars could do to make things a little bit easier on the road? Like one little thing.
Just well, it's funny you say that because my kids traveled with me and when they were younger, and man, that's all it took for them. They
Mm-hmm.
understand what driving a big truck because they witnessed it with me, and the challenges you have going down the road with a lot of these cars that don't really realize what it's all about. My kids the other day, and several of them have told me, "Man, Dad," she goes, we really respect these big trucks because we know what it takes to get the job done." And I thought that was so great that they would, recognize that and stuff. But what I would just pass on, it just, yeah, we can't stop. We
Yeah.
can't stop. So if you got to, and you cut in front of these big trucks, it gets a little rough on us, and hopefully we
Mm-hmm.
can stop. But
I, I'm
yeah,
I'm going to
just
build on this for you, Paul. And for I didn't know this either until I started pulling your guys' horses with those trailers. those big trucks need a lot of space. And in order to make sure that you are able to get to point A to point B safely, lots of times you do have to take into the fast lane because somebody else, they're getting over away from somebody that's broken down.
A lot of us truck drivers, when we have to go into the lanes to get away from obviously the people on the side of the road, that's just common courtesy.
Mhm.
It really is. You know what I mean? How many times have you been on the side of the road and your car broke down, and you try to get out maybe to see what's going on, and people about take your door off and they don't move over for you? So that might be a little food for thought for folks to maybe consider that when they see people down the side of the road.
I think that's great advice. Both of those.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Paul.
I'm not with the safety council driving committee, but nevertheless, I could share that with you.
But I think in general, people should just chill out and realize that the other cars on the road aren't against you, and we're all just trying to drive from point A to point B, whatever that is for us. So
You're
it's
right.
all right.
And something I do a lot of times, we're all going to make mistakes once in a while. So that person, like when people cut in front of me and do things like that, I always take a deep breath, say, you know what? That happens sometimes. Anyway.
Yeah, that's great. That things like that happen sometimes.
Yeah, they happen. They don't, and unintentional. I mean, I've started I've started drifting over a lane. I don't know why. I was just a little bit out of the moment. I drift over just a little bit, but I didn't mean to.
Yeah,
Then people
and that
come by.
doesn't make you a bad person or anything. It was just a mistake, like you were saying.
Lost myself for a second there. Anyway, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, good advice. Well, Paul, thanks again. Looking forward to your episode coming out in a few weeks, and I hope you have a great trip and a great week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Be safe, bud.
All right, love you guys. See you.
Love you.
Bye.
Talk to you later.
Man, what a great time with Paul. Somebody you've known for quite some time.
Yes. Yeah.
And super respect.
I have huge respect for Paul. He just, like I had mentioned earlier, one of the most positive people. Can turn something that's very uncomfortable or something unexpected that ruin plans, and he'll like, you know what? Well,
yeah, he reframes
with this. Yep.
And you said he does it effortlessly, but he said, that's when you do that repeatedly, it becomes who you are. And so it's not effort. It probably took a lot of effort to become to get to a place where it feels easier to do. But that is a lot of effort put in to be a person.
Yeah, no doubt. I love that.
I love that he chose the question about the compliment that he loves to give and receive. He said, I love when you can just see that somebody is being honest and real and genuine. And when they see that in you and you point that out to each other, that is, really, I think the essence of what he was saying is true human connection. I see you and you see me for the person that I am. And no facades. We're just being real people in the real world.
Well said. I like that. And I use the word genuine all the time. And Paul and the crew that we run around with, there's nothing fake about that group. The one thing that I think everybody obviously will recognize or has recognized, Paul loves his horses. And he treats them with respect, and he's taught me so much about the interaction of the person with the horses. Like dogs or canines, they use them for therapy animals for folks that need.
I think humans in general super underestimate the intelligence and the inner workings of animals, all animals.
Yeah. I've told you about the animals here, the alpacas, and then the lone horse. They've packed up together, and the horse is, the overall protector, and they follow the horse around, and it is very cool. Interspecies getting along.
I love that he brought up the drive-in movie theater. Man, that just brings you back, doesn't it? Oh, well, what a lovely episode with Paul. a great
Yep.
time. Thanks for bringing him on, Gibby.
Oh, you know what? I was looking forward to it so much.
You know what, though? I feel like we have more stories that we need to hear from him. So maybe we need to have him on again sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
I feel like there's more that he needs
Yep.
to share. All right.
Well, I think that's another episode of
Porch Swing people out.
Porch Swing people out.
Porch Swing people out.
Porch Swing People is recorded and produced by Lex and Gibby. Opening music was written and produced by Michael Gibson. Porch Swing People is a podcast featuring everyday people. If interested in being a guest, email us at porchswingpeeps@gmail.com.